when you don't have harmony or when you don't use what you know about yourself to do and be your best is like there is a lot of disorganization. Hey guys, today we're talking about how to use circumstances for optimal success to manage your life and your business a little bit better this year. I know last year I did a fantastic job, in my opinion, sharing with you amazing tips and tricks on how you can leverage your personal brand in every area of your life. What I don't think I did such a great job of was sharing with you how I actually use the tips and tricks that I'm sharing with you in my own life. And so today you're gonna see how I manage my life and my business and get it all in. And I hope that you'll be able to take away some ideas for yourself to help you do and be your best in your life and your business as well, and have that harmony that I talked so much about last year. So that being said, I want to just remind you that some of the things that can happen when you don't have harmony or when you don't use what you know about yourself to do and be your best is like there is a lot of disorganization that happens. I have a video where I organized my pantry, and we talked a lot about that, and we're going to do that again because my family has kind of messed that up. But over here, of course, you know, things have to be adjusted, but disorganization can happen. I've heard a lot from people, clients, and just in networking that people have so much going on in their head, so many different things that they're trying to accomplish, that they paralyzed from just not knowing what to do first. I think that when you don't have a grasp of what you need to do and be your best, and you haven't created those circumstances for optimal success to manage your actions, it's so much easier for you to be disorganized. And it's also easy for you to not have that consistency that everybody on the planet is talking about with respect to digital marketing, period. Whether you're trying to grow your YouTube channel, whether you're trying to grow your Instagram feed, it is imperative that you have some sense of consistency. But when you don't know what you're doing, it's very difficult. And so there's disorganization, there's inconsistency, there's also you're not productive because you don't know what to do. Therefore, you maybe sit paralyzed, not doing anything. These are just a few of the things that can happen when you don't know how to use who you are to get what you want. And so often we hear people, especially at the beginning of the year, talking about new year, new you, doing me in 2023. Just heard that one this morning. So many people are talking about that, but so few people are sharing with you how to actually walk that out. And so today in this video, you're gonna see me do a ton of things in my life that I use to keep myself organized. There are systems and processes to the way that I do every single thing. And I'm gonna talk to you about some of the tips because I do believe that you can look at who you are and what you believe and add all those things up and create the life you want. We are the sum of our influence, our experiences, our passions, our perspective. We're the sum of these things, and it makes us a unique being. So we can customize anything. And when you create these circumstances for optimal success, that's what you're able to do, is put that thumbprint on everything you do, make it yours, and make it work for you the way you need it to. So let's dive into some of these tips today. The very first thing that I want you to do is I want you to create those systems and templates so that you can manage your expectations and the expectations of other people. Now, for me, let's just talk about one of the things that I do in my household that helps me to really manage expectations. Number one is my family knows that when I cook, someone else cleans, right? That's managing expectations. They also know that I have a meal plan that I create, and I am a diabetic, and so I try to meal prep my food for breakfast and lunch so that I have something to eat and I'm not running out to the fast foods, which I haven't had really fast food in years that I order for myself. Now I'll pinch a fry off here and there. That's about it. But so my family knows that I have my food, and I have an area in the house where my food is. And then I also have a meal plan that I will create for the week for my family as to what I'm going to eat. Therefore, they know that if that's not something they want, they have a period of time where they can help tell me what they want. We can make adjustments. But once I've set that up, that's what it is. You know, don't complain if you're not cooking it, right? So there are systems that I've put in place. So if you want to manage expectations in your life, around you, in your business, create systems and processes and templates. The next thing is managing the volume of your personality. This doesn't mean that you have to be someone you're not. What it means is that you you are conscious of who you are. Again, using circumstances for optimal success to understand what you need to do and be your best in all situations, including conversations. So if you're talking to someone, let's say you are trying to sell someone or you're trying to gain a partner, you have to understand how that person is going to receive you. You have to know what to say and how to say it. Well, you need to know how to say it, not necessarily what to say, because sometimes you don't know what to say and you're just kind of winging it, but you need to know how to say it so that they will receive you well. It's a mindset issue, and it's one that we are going to tackle inside the CEO circle. So if you have not applied to be in that community, definitely go ahead and click on the link in the description box or the show notes so that you can also be a part of the circle. And there we are going to be changing mindsets. We're going to be working through some of those negative thoughts, some of those limiting beliefs, some of those fears that we have that are preventing us from changing our mindset and thinking of things differently so that we can be successful. We're also going to hold each other accountable. We're going to motivate and inspire one another, and we're going to reach our goals. We're really going to celebrate the wins. We're going to nurture those who need to take it a little bit slower pace, and we're going to be there for them. We're going to be a team. We're going to be a community. So definitely join us in that, because if you're finding this video something that you really want to work on in this year, then we're doing that. We're doing that with so many different mindsets that need to be shifted. And you may not need to shift the particular mindset we're on in that month, but you can help others. You can help other people, encourage, motivate, inspire. You can do that. So join the CEO Circle community using the link in the description or show notes. There is an application that you need to fill out because we want to make sure that we have all of the right people in the community who are going to speak positively and help us to grow and be what it is we want to be. So definitely go down there and do that. Well, I've given you 2 tips. Let's head on to the 3rd tip. That is determine where and how you want to show up for your brand, for your family, for your people. Now, I'm going to kind of talk about this in terms of marketing for your business, because I think one of the things that sort of tripped me up last year was trying to be on a lot of different platforms, trying to make them work, because I felt like that was what I needed to do to reach my audience. But the analytics spoke, and they said that some of the places that I was trying to be just weren't the place for me. And it also said that there were some places that I was presently on that was just thriving, even when I wasn't really giving it the attention that it should have gotten. It was thriving. And so I know this year that that's where I need to put my attention. I need to place my attention there. And that's what I'm going to be doing. So I have to determine how I want to show up. And this is the same in life. I encourage you in terms of your business to decide basically what your voice is, what your narrative is, where your audience is, what it is they're looking for, where they're going to find it, and how you can chime in those areas for sure. And so I have tons of videos on that and podcasts and all of that. So you can always check those out. I'll go through it if I can find some and link them. But also in your life, just think about this. Where do you want to show up? How do you want to show up in the world? And this translates into so many different areas, like the way you present yourself. When I was selling Premier Designs jewelry, I would say you want to look and feel your best. And when you look and feel your best, you have confidence and you do better, you can achieve more. And that is true. But if you're the person who is just like, the way I look shouldn't matter, I'm smart, people should like me for my value. That's true, but it's not realistic. Unfortunately, people judge you on how you look. There are so many decisions being made on a daily basis just based on how you look. And if you don't believe me, I don't know what to tell you. Now, the other thing that I think that you should consider is you need to become a little bit more intentional about your productivity. And what I mean by this is setting a schedule. I mean, creating a workflow balance so that you are able to get those important things done and you're doing the right things at the right time. I talked about this in an earlier, I think I talked about it in a podcast at the end of last year, where I talked about how for a long time I used a digital spreadsheet on Google that I had purchased from an influencer, and it was really good as a revenue spreadsheet. And I would go in and you had to plug in numbers, like how much did you want to sell of this product, this service for the year? And it would give you how much did those services cost, and it would spit out how much you would make at the end of the year. It also went as far as to tell you, okay, each quarter, if you want to hit the yearly goal, this is what you need to do. And then it would say, okay, each month, if you want to hit the quarterly goal, this is what you need to do. And then each day, if you want to hit the monthly goal, this is what you need to do. And I realized I worked on that. I used that digital calendar for probably 3 years, and I never went back to it. I would fill it out at the beginning of the year, and I just never would use it. Well, last year it dawned on me, Andrea, if you're going to create these circumstances for optimal success, and you know what you need to do and be your best in all of these other areas of your life, why wouldn't you have applied this to your strategy planning for the new year? And what I realized is that I wasn't even doing it myself for this particular area. I need to write things down. I'm visual. I can't just look at it. I'm tactile. I can't just look at it and come back to it. I need to hold myself accountable by having to get into a notebook or a planner every day and write something down. down. Now, my happy planner worked wonders. I was able to get so much done because I would go in, I would write out what I needed to do. But what I wasn't doing was tying it back to the revenue calendar, because the revenue calendar was digital. This year, I made a change. I did something different to get a different result, and I invested in the Cultivate What Matters goal planner, the power sheets, and I got in there. It was such a process, but it was an amazing process. It made me think, and it helped me to set some goals. I set 5 goals, I think, for this year, and it also helped me to identify the template, the system that needed to happen in order for me to reach that goal. And every day every week I've got to go in and write out, okay, what is my goal for this week to get things done? And then I can, on my planner, get all those things done on a daily basis to make sure that I hit my weekly goal. So I learned that about myself. I took those circumstances for optimal success and I created a schedule, I created a game plan, and I'm able to be more productive in an effective way, right? So not just being productive, getting things done, but being productive toward the goal that I am trying to achieve by the end of the year. Do you see the difference? So it's not just about being productive, it's about being intentional with your productivity so that you're working the plan that you created to meet your goals. So that's what I mean by this one in number 4, become more intentional for better productivity. All right, let's hit this last one that I want to talk with you about, to create a brand manifesto. Now, what is a brand manifesto? It is you write down who you are as a person in a brand and how do you want that brand to show up and show out, and what do you want people to take away from it. That's basically what your brand manifesto is. And when I'm talking about brand manifestos, and I'm gonna walk you through them, but yeah, I think you need to create one for yourself, because if you want to have better personal management and professional growth, I think having sort of a vision and a mission of what you want that end game to be or how you want to show up is important. And it's something that you can go back and look at when you start onboarding people for teams, building your teams out. Even when you're working with and trying to win clients, it's good to have like something to stand on that says, hey, this is who we are, this is what we believe, and we would love for you to be a part of it type thing. Because if you have it written down, if it's somewhere where it's spoken often and people start to believe it, then that's where you build those 4 R's of brand growth. Remember, I was talking to you about that, where you have your recognition, you have reputation, you have your relationship, and you have your rapport. Remember, we talked about that. But when you become known for something, your brand manifesto, when you begin to garner the respect of people because they know that you stand for something, it is going to make growing your business so much easier. If you have a personal manifesto, even, like, there are just certain things. Now, what I will say is your personal framework act as a personal manifesto, because there you're looking at your strengths, your limitations, your desires, and your non-negotiables. And when you operate within that personal framework, it makes it so much easier for you to manage expectations and teach people how to treat you. So that, in effect, is your personal manifesto. But your brand manifesto should be fleshed out based on who you want your brand to be, how you want it to show up, and the legacy you want it to have in your wake. So that was a lot, right? We went through a ton of things, but I think that I want to show you, I want to walk it out. I want you to see that in my life, there are things that I have created so that I can have consistency, that my family knows what to expect, that my friends know what to expect. And when I do that, it frees me up to do my work, right? Because people know when they can and cannot have my attention, and they know when I'm working, and everyone's expectations are managed, including my own. I know how far I can go to get things done, how far I can push the envelope. So anyway, I just am glad that you were here with me today. I just want to bring this time together to an end and just remind you that, you can have what you want. You just have to find that harmony between your life and your business, because it runs congruently. It's not a linear thing where you can do one and then you do the other. In this day and age, we are doing business while cooking dinner. We are taking care of the kids while on the Zoom. So we have to find a way to find that harmony. And I think managing your personal life and also having that professional growth, using these tips, it will be much easier. I hope you enjoyed this little talk today, and I look forward to seeing you again next week. Again, check out other podcasts here, the CEO Mindset Podcast, because we're constantly evolving and being open to failing forward. And on my YouTube channel, I'm just sharing so many more tips and tricks on how you can leverage who you are to be who you want to be, using personal, business, and lifestyle encouragement. Talk to you later, guys. Have a great day. Bye.